think it's going to be a pretty close series. People are pretty split on which way it's going to go. I'm really interested to see if Dignitas is going to be trying to utilize some of their experience to force lane swaps. That's something that Medios was talking a lot about on the dive, that we've talked a lot about, is the fact that these Dignitas guys have been around for so long, have so much experience in lane swap meta, which really has made a big comeback. Whereas a lot of 100 Thieves players, they weren't even playing when lane swaps were a thing back in the day.
Were they even born?
Sniper wasn't.
Personally, I'm most excited for the new patch here. New patch for playoffs. And that is good news for both of these teams. The NLSS was talking a lot about AD carries and mages, but also there were some jungle changes, and namely Dignitas covering their bases here. Vi got buffed. Vi was already good, and Vi got buffed, and Vi was what River and 100 Thieves absolutely smashed with when he was able to actually pull off early game kills and go for these level 6 synergies with like Lillia and getting really nice combos. So I think already pretty good adaptation to the patch by Dig. They safety ban that away, and then they still first pick the Ezreal, which is still very good. Although here we go, 100 Thieves shifting it up. The newly buffed Azir, tankier now, can take more hits in the mid lane with the armor and the health regeneration. And then Misfortune, that has been so highly prized in the LPL, and yet was kind of strangely not highly prized by us quite yet. It's often paired with stuff like Rell, so I'm looking at that for 100 Thieves as we get later into the draft here. You want that big AoE wombo combo with her.
Yeah, we did see with Aurora last week in the LCS, which is actually a really nice combo, but Aurora is, of course, disabled for playoffs, at least for now, because there are some bugs with it. So that is turned off, so that is not available. But yeah, I mean, even prior to these Vi buffs, I honestly wanted to see 100 Thieves go back to that sort of style, because they look so much better in spring than they do in summer, with River playing early aggressive, physical damage junglers with having Quid on playmakers, these AP-style champions. That duo was so powerful and so much a part of 100 Thieves' success. I mean, Quid was the MVP in spring.
River was first team All-Pro.
Exactly. Like, those guys were such a good duo. And really, they have not been on the radar in the same way in summer. So I want to see if they can get back to that, play your style rather than playing the meta. That's kind of what I want from 100 Thieves here today.
Yeah, I'm excited to see what they want to pair with that Azir. We already talked a little bit about the Vi not being an option, but Jax and Kai'Sa banned away. Ashe, Rumble, and Ivern also all banned out, as it's Ezreal, Ksante, and Lillia. First three for Dignitas. The Renekton will be the last pick for the first half for 100 Thieves.
Something I'm also really interested in is on 14-16, the Senna buffs were actually really, really powerful for this kind of Enchanter-style Senna. If that's going to really show up at all, it's more AP-style Senna, where you have an AP modifier now and you're healing on the Q, as well as on your ulti, is so strong right now. Echoes of Helia Senna, as well as like Moonstone, like all these Enchanter-style builds are so powerful right now. I was playing a lot with that, and I've heard from a lot of other pros who have been experimenting with it, and even been hearing some of the NACL teams are playing a lot of it. So interested to see if that is actually going to make its way in.
Yeah,
it's a very different style than the old Senna. It's it's not really damage; you're more like a Soraka almost, but it's really strong.
I mean, the AP scalings that it got, it doubled on the Q, and they increased it on the slow for the Q as well as the big shield. So it's definitely a powerful pick. We'll see if they have put in their time practicing it. For me, I'm still kind of looking at 100 Thieves as far as where's their big initiation to hold people in place for Misfortune.
Yep.
And the Rell, to my mind, is still pretty good, although Ezreal is always slippery and always tricky to nail down. Dignitas right now, one more protection ban to really pin down River. River, them dropping his pick here, jungle pretty late in the draft, means that he's going to have to dig a little bit deeper. Maybe 100 Thieves have been cooking, though.
Well, we will see the Nidalee banned away by Dig. They want to get rid of that best friend for Renekton. Braum and Leona, the two supports that are going to be taken off the table here, as Zeri is also banned out by 100 Thieves. Let's see what they want to go for here. We still need to see a support. We still need to see a jungler. And Kobe, I'm right there with you. We need to see some engage for the Thieves.
I mean, it could be Rell, it could be Nautilus, like any of those style of champions I do think work quite well and are up and available. Instead, it's going to be Viego, so it is back to more of that style that we kind of associate with River and his success. Viego, not a Jarvan, not a Vi type, but if you can get those early skirmishes going, especially if you're playing around topside, where you do have the Renekton, him and Sniper, if they can get involved around some fights around the grubs on top side, get that snowball rolling. That could mean some really good things here for 100 Thieves.
Well, one thing that I am looking at, though, seeing the Viego locked in alongside of Renekton there in topside, yeah, they can be good at scrapping, but Ksante's build path is going to feel so comfortable this game, just being able to spam that armor out and be ready for it. But the Rell will be taken away, denied from 100 Thieves, locked in by Dignitas alongside the Corki.
I mean, it's interesting because Dig is clearly just going like previous patch picks. Like this is just exactly what we would see last patch. I do think 100 Thieves is maybe a little bit different than what you would have been kind of expecting. You know, it is not that AD mid. Of course, we were still seeing Azir last patch as well. But it is going to be the Nautilus as that final pick. So that is that hard engage for them, that lockdown for the MF ult. And we'll see if they can make it work. I
am so disappointed right now in Dignitas. This is the first Orianna Q buff since 2012. Since 2012, Orianna finally got a buff. Jensen's most played champ of all time, the Mage Master. And he still goes back to Corki, who also got nerfed.
12 years ago, the last time Orianna Q got a buff. That is crazy.
I'm so sad, so disappointed. But, you know, this is just the first game of the series, okay?
Yeah,
sometimes in the first game, you go with the more general, like you're saying, you know, go with more previous patch, go with more safety. And then once you get pressed later on in the series, then we'll really start to see the new tricks coming out.
And this Dignitas draft is really strong. It has a lot of range here with both the Corki and the Ezreal. Has become such a popular double marksman duo. Because
all right, let's see it. Something that's interesting too, oftentimes, since we do have Tomo, the big superstar support, I'll call him, that came in for 100 Thieves and has really revitalized this.
ADC.
ADC, there you go. Has really revitalized this team. Him being on the Misfortune, I think, is going to be very interesting. Misfortune with the strut, with the crazy move speed that she does have, proves sometimes you can have some really good, easy swaps over to grubs for 6-minute grub swaps too. And since they're the ones with Viego here, I want to see how spicy 100 Thieves actually make this.
Yeah, and Dignitas all staying up towards that top side, so likely wanting to go in towards a lane swap here. We'll have to see what the response is going to be from 100 Thieves, who do have their duo up towards top as well. So both teams are kind of setting up into this, and if it ends up being that, it might just be inverted lanes, but 2v2 top and 1v1 bottom, because, I mean, Renekton's heading down towards bot, Ksante is going to be there as well. And now 100 Thieves should know that it is going to be this invade, and it is going to be a lane swap, going to be trying to be initiated here from Dignitas. But 100 Thieves already have their bot lane top, so it's going to be 2v2 top. And now the question is, do they try to hide and try to get some sort of advantage? Because Renekton is going to show now, so now everyone knows exactly what's going on.
Okay, we are just going to suplex the general state of the side lanes.
It's Australia lanes, baby.
Just turn it upside down. Here we go. 2v2 top side. I'm sorry, Emily. I hate lane swaps.
I mean, key thing about it too is you're having the jungler swap here. So we have River getting over, starting after blue buff, pick up the Raptors, make sure that you don't get pushed out of either side here. So it should be both junglers just collecting standard jungle camps, or at least not standard, at least getting the correct amount of jungle camps. Right. Meanwhile, level 2 achieved here on for the top side duo.
And you were talking about it, Kobe, but obviously 100 Thieves has been doing so much better since the Tomo swap. You know, he has come in, they're 4-1 since that swap, looking a lot stronger. The team really does seem to be somewhat revitalized, and Tomo has come in, is playing really, really confident, and is very motivated to try to take down Dignitas here.
Okay, Isles crashing down as he and Eyla trade blows back and forth, but it's really not a whole lot to talk about. Everybody seems pretty content in all the lanes just to keep on farming it up. You can see the gold pretty close across the board. Yeah, Jensen's down to 250 HP or so here in mid lane, but there's not a lot of mana left for Quid to apply a whole lot of pressure with.
Yeah, it is going to be interesting to see, you know, if those little buffs for the Azir and the nerfs for the Corki do end up actually making the difference here, because Kobe touched on it. Azir has got more armor as well as more health regen per level, so you know you are going to be a little bit more difficult to poke down, and likewise Corki dealing a little bit less damage over on the other side. So if you are scrapping, in theory, that could make the difference, where, you know, Jensen is getting kind of low on resources, but realistically, these kind of lanes just end up being farm lanes, and it shouldn't really at the pro level make that big of a difference. You know, maybe Jensen has to give up a couple more CS and base a little earlier, that kind of thing. But I'm not expecting this to be some massive swing depending on how the matchup goes at the pro level.
I feel like at the pro level, if anybody's ever really in danger of dying solo in Azir versus Corki,
They press B.
someone just committed some sort of egregious mistake. Like, nobody should be dying solo in Azir versus Corki.
Interesting, too, on the top side, we actually had the cancel here for 100 Thieves, and they're sticking around with the wave as Spica was seen on the ward that they have there. So both junglers here actually returning to this red quadrant. Spica's got his support with him, though. River, better be careful.
The most powerful thing in League of Legends, a teammate backing you up here from another invade, and with the extra threat of the extra man, it's easy enough for Dignitas to maintain control over this 100 Thieves red side jungle.
Nice little +1 on camps here for Spica on his Lillia. His most famous of jungle champions, by the way. We'll see.
Man, that's a little dirty.
Well, and now, maybe to his teammates, not to him. It was 9-man sleep. He was the only one not sleeping, Flowers. But now it's an invade. River's trying to get the enemy Raptors again, but Spica is here, and it looks like Spica got those as well. So now Spica takes double enemy Raptors, defends the second spawn of his own Raptors, and it's going to be up to a nice little advantage as a result.
Actually so big here for Lillia, the power farmer. Faded Ashes purchased up. Full build for Lillia. Easily go into next clear because they still have their duo on top side. Take a look at this, though, because Eyla is actually going up river while you have Viego here, River himself, coming down through lane. He's going to be a little bit delayed and just stops off on those Krugs, but they get the recall off no matter.
So I'm curious, Kobe, which MF build are you more of a fan of? Because we mostly see like BT Rush or Kraken.
To me, I love Essence Reaver.
Oh, you like that
for mana?
Reaver?
I'm huge on mana. I love just spamming out everything on waves and just.
It's your option number 3.
I definitely am big.
Hold on, boys. We got some problems here in the top lane. First blood for River, and 100 Thieves are on the board. Tomo is low, but not low enough. Dignitas drops a man.
Huge stuff here for River to be able to get that. We mentioned that he was hovering coming down through lane, and he has stopped up on Krugs. Really nice usage here where he just hovers behind them, able to get the kill. It does invest his flash, so we'll see if it is punished at all. But meanwhile, bottom lane, another flash was blown. Sniper versus Licorice in the 1v1, where Sniper was very confident in his matchup, has been able to solo blow the flash. Meanwhile, Grubbies will be started up and should be picked up here.
It's not just the confidence, though, because Sniper hit level 6, and you could see Licorice was sitting at about 95% EXP on the way to it. So as soon as the Croc was able to pop Dominus and Ksante didn't have the all-out to respond, Licorice knew the fight was not going his way. Void Grub number 3 goes over to 100 Thieves, but the first 2 were secured by Dignitas.
It's going to be really nice as well, you know, for River to actually get that first blood on the Viego. This is such a snowbally champion. I really feel like you have to play from ahead when you're playing Viego, because it's all about getting that first reset, about getting that first kill. That's where you can really take over. But Viego from behind often really struggles to get that initial reset and get that first body.
Yeah, Viego from behind feels he's still making montages. It's just not the kind that he wants to be making. 1-0 for 100 Thieves, though, up over 1,000 gold here early on, as Isles tries to keep River away from this bottom side scuttle. Spica level 6 versus River only halfway there himself. He knows that the Lillia is going to have a distinct advantage in any sort of a fight, so he doesn't want to be part of any sort of a fight. Spica can just walk in with Isles as backup and take away the enemy blue.
And this is something that we want to see from Spica. He has the flash advantage, he has the level advantage, he should be playing in the face of his opponent.
Yeah, let's see if they actually go for this on Sniper. Should at least be just taking this Gromp. Sniper, of course, has flash and ultimate to try and outplay if they do go for something.
All right, let's see if they want it. Doesn't really look like it. Just going to be happy with the first plate for now. They'll land any poke that they might be able to find here with those Mystic shots continuing to connect. Sniper does get the 2-man heal there from Call the Meek. Nicely done with that, but about time for the Croc to go home.
And Lillia is just going to continue farming up on those camps. Nice interrupt on the recall there from Zven, so at the very least they're going to lose a full wave if he does base now, and he'll have to do so, so that wave will be gone. They're going to lose at least 1, if not 2 plates here as well, so Dignitas' bot lane going to get quite a lot. And on the same token, it's much harder to push out the Ksante on that top side, right? It's physical damage top lane. He already has the Bramble. He is going to be pretty tanky. We'll see if they want to try to force his dive.
They do! Licorice, half HP, but staying alive for now as Eyla has to disengage that heated up turret. Would have only been able to survive 2 more hits from it as Licorice right back under the turret, ready to go once again. The bullet time cuts him down. Tomo gets kill number 2 of game number 1.
Interesting. So 100 Thieves decide we are for sure going for the dive. Unlike the opposite side, they get their kill. Meanwhile, Sniper right back down on bottom side, full health. Just a little bit of turret plate trade going on there. So nice gold lead early on in this game for 100 Thieves. The constant plays here with River really being a playmaker for the team again.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, they're able to just kind of force it in the face of the Ksante. And at the end of the day, they get just as many plates as Dignitas got, and they get the kill. So they're feeling really good about that. It is going to be that BT rush here from Tomo.
On the reset, too, they're sending them back out through top side. There is only 1 turret plate up on that top tower for their side to try and be able to push down and look for first tower bonus. But it looks like the pass through with the sweeper here. Try and take control of the river first.
It's a pretty dark map for Dignitas right now as River steps in, steals away the Gromp. Nicely done on that one.
Still playing the strong side here for 100 Thieves. Keeping River over here. Really want to brute force this one and push down this tower, it looks like.
Yeah, they're trying to race because Dignitas is already on this turret here. Licorice tried to clear out as much of the wave as he could on topside to try to deny that trade, and Sniper's trying to do the same. They both don't want to give up their lives, but they want to allow their team to get that first turret. We'll see who's going to be able to do it. Spica's now here to defend, but they have the wave closer. It looks like 100 Thieves should be able to win this race. We'll see.
100 Thieves are already winning overall in the game. They're already 1,500 gold ahead of Dignitas in these first 10 minutes. It will be a pretty tight race here between them. More firepower for 100 Thieves as Sniper trying to thin out this wave. Turret's not going to fall down to the bot side, so top lane, it's 100 Thieves getting paid first.
All right, the nice buffed up first tower bonus gold plus the grubs here being taken by River. Should be a dragon trade for Spica. Just head down to the other side of the map where your duo is, and they'll be a little bit slower on taking their tower, but should be able to trade the other half of the map.
You know, it's interesting because Spica was covering Licorice on the dive. I wonder if it wouldn't have just been worth him walking up and just clearing 1 wave there. Just play 1 wave with them up on top lane tower. That would have got them the first turret on bot side. You know, maybe you lose a little bit of tempo. They're not going to go for Dragon Eye anyway, though, so I feel like it would have been pretty worthwhile.
And now that all 3 of that second pot of Void Grubs have gone over to River and 100 Thieves,
it's a pot?
just further, yeah, it's a pot of Void Grubs.
Yeah, they come in a pot?
Yeah, you just buy them in a pot.
Okay.
Like
3 per pot.
Yeah, they're like
Okay.
big Void crawdads. You get them in a pot.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, pot of
with
Void
you.
Grubs. It's
Just confirming.
It's a plurality.
Yeah.
Anyway, now that River has a majority, not just a plurality, of grubs.
Ooh.
That early one that they secured from that first set is that much more important because it does get them to the critical
The one that
threshold.
they stole from Spica's pot.
Yeah, it's the pod is now overflowing with grubs. It's like whatever Jack tried to do with the water. I still don't fully
I think this one makes more sense.
I still don't fully understand the water thing, but I understand that 4 grubs means grubbies, and that's what they got.
There you go.
Oh my God. All right, let's take a look at the setup here through River. Honestly, because Dragon has been delayed for so long, Dragon Soul is not a win condition that is close to us in this game. And so it's going to be pretty low priority on this objective. The stacking not going to be a really big issue here. Really looking more at those setups, if you can get the pick, if you can get the team fight going your way. And so with the rotation through mid lane for both duos, trying to get visual confirmation first. And even though there's still a ward inside this dragon pit, Lillia's on top side. So 100 Thieves with the pot of Void Grubs and the first dragon that will be added to their objective soup.
Yeah. Pot of grubs, a little bit of lizard on the side. The soup's looking pretty good for 100 Thieves right now, who are up 2,500 gold this early on into the game. They're going to grab another plate now here in the bottom lane. Still 1 minute and 15 left on the clock to be able to secure more plate money if they can keep that pressure going. Honestly, it's been a really solid early game from them, from a draft that is something that it was not popular in the same way that what Dignitas is picking has been popular the whole split. The buffs that we're talking about seem to have mattered. And again, Ezreal, you brought it up a little bit in draft. This is the style that 100 Thieves were good on back in regular split for spring. This is the style I think a lot of people, including myself, wanted to see them get back to. And that's what they're doing. As Spica has to flash away to escape the Heartbreaker. River catching him out a little bit there. Tons of burst damage.
I mean, it is going to be a while before this Corki's really doing damage too. You know, it is increased cost of boots, Merc Treads, Rush, Corki here, sitting with the tier stacking up and just the Hearthstone Axe. So it is going to be a while before you really get that damage there. And 100 Thieves have been making good use as though River.
Isles catching River out. The Ignite burns him down, and River overstays his welcome in the enemy jungle. Dignitas, 13.5 minutes into the game, gets their first kill.
Yeah, he thought he was going to be able to actually take away the red because he had forced Spica to flash. He pushed him out, but Dignitas had the extra members there. River a little bit slow to react. Didn't have the ulti because he used it aggressively onto Spica.
Yep.
So did end up flashing over the wall, but the Ignite finishes him off and ends up going down. They do get some tower damage down in mid lane at the very least on the trade, but Dignitas is going to be happy to stem the bleeding a bit there.
They're the ones with the comfort of scaling here to their benefits. 100 Thieves don't have horrible scaling themselves, though. Have some really good team fighting options. Really good setup possibilities here with so many pick-style stuns. Viego, Nautilus, as well as even Renekton here. Big playmakers for them. So 100 Thieves definitely have some room to work with here through the mid-game. See what Eyla can actually set up with some deeper vision, though. Tracking Spica here.
So, gentlemen, the past two neutral objectives have not been contested. The second pot of grubs, uncontested. First Drake, uncontested. Even that first pot of grubs was simply traded back and forth, right? I wonder if we're going to get a fight for this Herald.
Well, Jensen actually was sitting on a lot of money, so that Corki I was so focused on actually has his Trinity Force now. So now they do have that damage with double Trinity Force coming in. So
I think Quid's just going to take the bot lane tower, and I don't think we're going to have a full commit to this, but we'll see. They're looking.
Immediate engage with the bullet time over the top. Zven gets chunked a little bit, but Isles escapes. 100 Thieves with control over this top side River now, and with Quid pushing bottom, Dignitas has to try to find a response. Looks like River's just going to take care of the Herald on his own.
It's just that the response is so difficult because Quid has the teleport advantage in bottom lane too. Yeah, he's split pushing. He could join at any time and try and push them in and do a big Azir shuffle. So if you've got vision advantage, which they do.
Eyla going in yet again for the dredge line engage, but Isles wants to counterattack him now, but the burst from Sniper is enough to kill Spica to start the fight. River's the one taking the credit as Sniper has to fall back a little bit as River and Eyla have both been felled. Dignitas gets a 2-for-1.
Yeah, they got the kill early onto Spica. River took over the body of that Lillia, but everyone from Dignitas goes immediately on him, locks him down, bursts him down so he can't chain those resets. Tomo, though, still at full health. Quid pretty healthy as well. So they are able to take the mid lane tier 1, and no one gets the Herald off the back of it. So at the end of the day, still pretty damn good for 100 Thieves.
Yeah, I mean, all outer towers taken now for 100 Thieves. Here's another look at the attempt, but hook goes in, and as you say, they immediately are able to burst down the single target, but Ezreal ult over the top as well. All of the AoE coming in, and then once Licorice gets here, able to chase the rest off.
Really like the buffer on the Pathmaker there from Licorice. As soon as River was going to take over that body, he was already pressing Pathmaker. He had that time perfectly, so he comes out in the Lillia body, immediately gets stunned up. Everyone focus fires him down. He doesn't have the ability to actually, get into that R again and start spamming it out and start looking for those chain resets. It's so critical to be able to focus down River, especially when you are going for these kind of builds. Like when you're going Blade of the Rune King Rush, you are really squishy.
I think still objective at least achieved here for 100 Thieves. Once you get all your outer towers taken, then they can start really making more use of that vision and actually find some picks for themselves. Dignitas, though, with the power move up to topside to get Herald is a pretty nice response. They can use the Herald to guarantee themselves one of these towers, even looking for an early play onto Sniper, although Nautilus is coming.
Oh, Sniper gets stunned, but the crash down doesn't find the follow-up. Sniper still getting away for now. The Ignite will not get him close enough to death to try to commit anything else. Spica does not end up using any kind of a sleep up there.
Well, they also committed so many people top that 100 Thieves make the call. Well, if you have everybody showing top, we'll just take another tower.
And they could even go back towards Dragon off the back of this if they want. We'll see if they move down towards that. It looks like River is going to head that direction. So they get the mid lane tier 2. They defend the top lane tier 1. They will be able to take the Dragon very likely off the back of this. So 100 Thieves getting a lot more off the map here. And it is now Sniper who TP back up towards topside, so he's going to be pushing that out. He can't answer. We'll have to see if 100 Thieves can get out the back of this as Licorice is coming.
Is it a successful heist here? They get it, and almost everyone.
Looks like somebody might have got caught on the exit route, but the rest of the team's ready to try to follow up and re-engage. River chunked down to 1/3. Ayla's nearly dead as well, but 100 Thieves saves their dude. Nobody gets caught, and 100 Thieves get out alive.
Yeah, I thought the 100 Thieves were going to get punished for that big time. I mean, Eyla tried to flash over the wall, but he got pulled back by the Magnet Storm, so he couldn't actually create the distance to get over. And then when I saw River going in to try to bail him out, I thought they might have both died. But at the end of the day, they get the Dragon, they get the towers, they get away, and Sniper was able to push in topside. So 100 Thieves going to be feeling really good. They go back to the Herald. They should be able to kill this off before it despawns as well. So everything coming up 100 Thieves so far in this game number 1.
The snowball is going according to plan here for 100 Thieves. Good use of their early advantages. And Dignitas, although they did pick, all these tier 1 scalers, they still have the options for later. They're trying to mitigate losses. I think 100 Thieves, though, right now, on a very good pace as far as pushing the advantage.
But what we have to do is see if they can get that all the way to the Nexus. As part of what the conversation about the difference between these two teams is, with the experience of Dignitas in higher pressure situations in these longer series and best of 5s compared to the relatively young 100 Thieves roster.
And if you look at how Dignitas got their wins against the top teams, the single game wins versus Team Liquid versus FlyQuest, it was them using, very team fight focus, scale a lot for later, and then we will be able to win some 5-on-5. So they're kind of hoping that they can create that scenario again here. It's just that with this push hard on the bottom side, and with Sniper being able to put the pressure on Licorice even in the 1 versus 1, 100 Thieves have strong control of the neutral.
Yeah, and with the Ocean Soul on the horizon, that's going to make things even more difficult when you're playing a poke-style comp like Dignitas is, if that goes over.
Well, immediate all out from Licorice, looking for the fight against Sniper, but Sniper can respond with his own ulti and his own team. Quid shows up to pick up the kill, makes it look too easy for 100 Thieves.
If you watch the pros from last week, the podcast that they do, they had Sniper on there, and he was smiling from ear to ear when he was talking about this matchup. He was very kind about it. He was like, yeah, I was so excited to play against Dignitas, because I think we 100 Thieves, we match up really well versus them, and I also match up very well versus Licorice. This time around, Quid had him with the safety of a teleport, but you could see already Sniper was looking to take that 1v1, and now with the Baron attempt, it is sussed out by Zven. Ezreal ult over the top, lets them know, and gets 100 Thieves right off of it.
Yep, the squishier build for the Viego. You already mentioned the first item, Blade of the Ruined King. Isaac's second item, Sundered Sky, means when this guy gets hit by the True Shot Barrage, he loses about 1/3 of his HP to it. So when your jungler's half HP, they immediately get cold feet. They don't want to full commit to an objective like that. So good aim from Zven. Gets 100 Thieves away from the objective. But the problem is, it's not like it's really going to change their philosophy towards these objectives. 100 Thieves knows they still run the Rift right now.
Yeah, exactly. Not too much to break down on this one. This is kind of just a straight up 1v1 for the most part. And then as soon as the TP's coming in from Quid, there's just no way that Licorice can do anything. He can't even fight it out. All he has to do is try to run away. But of course, no way out. Quid arrives, easy kill picked up, donated to the Azir, and they wanted to see, can we actually sneak the Baron off the back of that?
Yeah, and it's plays like that that you really have to shy away from when you are a team comp like Dig have, and you are trying to get to multiple item power spikes here for Corki, for Ezreal, and try and have your big, fight later on, because any bit of extra little gold, any extra time there for 100 Thieves to really push this ahead can be very detrimental in putting off your timeline that you're trying to keep this game to. Meanwhile, 100 Thieves immediately also use the Rift Herald there and get that one. Plus push Eyla's out here.
Quid very aggressively actually just stood in the face of Jensen there, finishes off the tower, and got all that local gold.
Yeah.
So much extra gold going into the pockets there of the Azir, picks up the kill, picks up the solo gold on that, has 1,300 sitting in pocket. Now richest in the game by a decent margin, so this Azir is going to become a problem.
I mean, look at his inventory, right? Nashor's and Leandry's already completed. He's halfway to completing his third item, but since it's a Seeker's that's not yet broken, I consider it just as strong as a full item because of the ability for that active to completely warp an entire fight. This dude is a menace.
And he's got the Blighting Jewel off the base. He just picked up, had another 1,200, 1,300 gold in pocket, so does by that, working towards some Spell Pen here, expecting some MR to be coming in, though honestly there really isn't that much just yet besides some on Licorice.
Yeah.
And Licorice is going to struggle to stand up to this Azir. Obviously did focus very heavily on building early armor, as he needed to for this lane and to deal with River as well, but it means he's going to be kind of paper to Quid.
Okay, so this time around, can Dignitas get any poke damage down? It looks like with Misfortune coming from base, you know, there's not going to be anybody to poke. 100 Thieves are just going to go straight over to the other side of the map. Dignitas get their dragon, but still, pre-setup to this fight, your Ezreal and your Corki rockets, Dignitas need a little bit of that to land preemptively.
Oh, 100 Thieves was waiting though. The bullet time immediately deletes Isles. 100 Thieves found their first already, and they're looking to keep the fight going with the Nautilus ulti dropped onto Jensen, forcing him back into the fight as Licorice goes over the chicken wall, and now he's going to be run down by River and Quid together. He's still barely getting away while Zven and Spica have to kite it out back on the right. The fight continues as Zven is slowed. Licorice and Isles, the only two dead. A 5v3 for 100 Thieves means Baron comes up next.
Did Sniper bait them by walking over that ward? Like, they just used the scryers on the Baron also, and then they still all walked in.
Yeah.
I think that was a blunder from Dignitas there. They saw Sniper walking off the river, but they knew nobody else was on Baron, and they still face checked, and they got mega punished, but here we go.
Okay, Eyla chunked down pretty low. Jensen still trying to fire some rockets at these guys, but Quid goes in from a nice shuffle. He's got a rampage, and he found Zven. Spica's still trying to get away as Jensen has to go full retreat. One drowsy, is it enough? Yes, Isles!
Oh.
The cavalry has arrived! And he gallops right over them. 100 Thieves, you want to talk about a blunder? There's a blunder for you. Dignitas now with control over the river and control over the Baron pit.
Yeah, it's a huge overchase. They could have just taken the Baron. Instead, they want to chase for kills. Isles comes back, finds a nasty engage off the sleep there from Spica, and now it's Dig on the Baron here. Tomo does have his ultimate in 3 seconds. That's what they're going to try to wait for.
River looking for a chance to maybe go in and steal it. The Baron's down to 4,000 HP. The bullet time creating space for River to make his entry into the pit.
Oh!
He spikes it! He steals it away! The first team All-Pro jungler from Spring is right back at it! A double kill for the Misfortune! Tomo's popping off! Sniper's here to help him! A triple kill for the AD carry! And 100 Thieves gets the Baron and 4 kills to go with it!
It's Tomo time. That ain't no bullet time. Oh my goodness. That's just how they drew up the Baron play, right? It was a 3-part play. You get the big engage, then you give over a couple kills, and then you come in and steal it for yourselves like true oh my goodness, true thieves.
I just love this. You know, they pop the ulti, hitting the Baron as well. It makes it so that Dignitas is pushed away from actually turning onto River, and also they can't just keep the Baron high health, kill the jungler first, and then finish it. They get it really, really low there, down to 110. Now we have Spica's comms on this.
I missed a smite, my bad.
Yeah, and that's exactly what Kobe was saying with the 110. His smite got it almost there, but close doesn't count in the smite fight for Baron. 100 Thieves up over 8,000 gold now with the tier 2 collapsing in the bottom lane. 100 Thieves have secured all 6 turrets outside of the base of Dignitas. They've got the 3-man push here in the bottom lane, while River is about to join up with the main crew, and Sniper is splitting back in mid, getting ready to crash that wave as well. Jensen gonna move over, try to answer this one, make sure that they cannot get any more pressure than absolutely necessary onto these turrets, but 100 Thieves taking the opportunity. They are just gonna bulldoze through the inhibitor turret in bottom lane, and now the inhibitor is up next. Dignitas still grouped up as a full 5-man unit, but with Zven chunked so close to death, Dignitas is gonna have a hard time keeping the defense up. 100 Thieves now onto their second inhibitor. The one in bottom lane has already fallen. The one in mid lane is about to go next. Top side tier 3 turret is also not looking so hot, boys. I think the Dignitas base might be in utter shambles once this is done.
I mean, it's looking like it. You know, this opportunity for Dignitas that you thought for a moment might have brought them back into the game seems to instead have been flipped on its head and maybe be sealing the deal here in game number 1. 400 Thieves. They get the Baron. They take so much of the enemy base right off that. And now Sniper is just slow stacking this wave, wants to get it pushing out. Dignitas is going to come up and see if they can overload this side of the map and maybe find some sort of a pick. You can see that Zven and Spica were both walking up through the jungle, so there's 4 members up here. They want to kill Sniper before the rest of the 100 Thieves members get out on the map, but they're not confident to do it because they don't have vision to tell them where the rest of the 100 Thieves team is.
Sniper does have his ulti as well as a completed Sterix gauge, so if Dignitas doesn't send enough for him, they ain't gonna get it.
Also, Quid could teleport in to help defend him again, so definitely gets dangerous there.
Look where Eyla is, though. Eyla is still in the brush back there, and he's looking for the longest possible flank here. You have to go for a Hail Mary play. There's no vision of it. They're going to TP in now with Licorice. They're looking for it.
Exactly. They want to make the three-pronged pincer attack. Eyla shows his face, and now Tomo and Eyla are ready to turn. River coming around from the side here with a Spectral Maw. They will stun up the enemy engaged before he can do a damn thing. Sniper just went into the enemy base instead. The first Nexus turret is already down, and Dignitas scrambles to try to answer. 100 Thieves have brought to the table a double kill for River's Viego. Spica can do nothing but run. Zven barely even able to step outside of the range of the steps of the fountain as that last Nexus turret is all that's standing. 100 Thieves get another one with Quid eliminating Licorice. A two-man defense will not defend long. 100 Thieves came ready to play here in playoffs, and they are gonna take game one in a convincing fashion.
100 Thieves, late in the season, they sub in Tomo, the super sub comes in, and then he pulls out some nifty Baron tactics when they did it most in this game. Aside from that Baron play though, which is gonna be a lot of the focus, their early game was very good, nice snowballing from them to control the neutral objectives, take all the outer towers, create vision advantages, and create those picks on a Dignitas. And Dignitas, this is a profile that people have been worried about for this team for a while. A little bit too slow.
All right, a reminder to everybody, single day tickets are officially on sale.